So, today is February the 7th, and 10 years ago in 2013 began the start of a campaign to create International Clash Day. It started in a radio station in Washington, DC, and it swiftly moved, it became a really popular thing, so much so that, as I may have mentioned before, our governor here in Washington State declared, they made a proclamation about there being a clash day that would be recognised by our state. That's Jay Inslee, and I think it's pretty cool. I'm going to be meeting him next week, so I'm pleased about that as well. So I wanted to do something to mark it. So what did I do? I put on, it's the first track on side 2 of the first disc of this album I put it on. This is my Japanese import of London Calling, a fantastic album. Of course, I'm wearing a Trotsky t-shirt with it's got a red star in it. They're all I'm even wearing my midlife crisis shoes. I bought myself, don't know if you can see them here, let's step back a bit, a pair of green patterned Dr. Martens with a Clash logo on the side. That's a big sellout maybe in many ways, but it was my midlife crisis. It cost me over $100, but I could have gone for a sports car. Couldn't afford that either, really. But I love them, and that's all cool. So I wanted to make a cocktail to mark International Clash Day, the 10th anniversary of International Clash Day. So I decided to get something off of the London Calling album, and the one that I really liked was, I wanted something Spanish. They have a lot of songs with Spanish in them, even though the Spanish wasn't always well articulated. So I'm making a version of Spanish Bombs, which is what we're listening to at the moment, except because they often use the Spanish language in their songs, I am calling this the Bomba Español, which is of course the Spanish version of Spanish Bomb. And it took me a little bit of time to come up with it, but I think it's great. Of course I would say that, wouldn't I, about my own creations, but there we go. It's a whiskey drink. Okay, that's not very Spanish, I do understand that, but here we go. I am using this 100 proof rye whiskey. I think it goes really well. It has some vanilla notes in it, along with the other the sort of regular fiery stuff you'd expect with a rye whiskey. And you'll see why the vanilla is important because of one of the other ingredients. But we want 2 ounces of this whiskey by Old Forester. I'm using, use any one you've got. And if you don't have the 100 proof, that'll probably be fine as well. And here we go. We're starting to make it a little more Spanish. Licor 43, which is very vanilla bean tasting. We're going to have 1 ounce of this. It's delicious. It goes very well with orange, so that will explain one of the extra ingredients I put in. Next one, I'm putting some sherry in there, cream sherry, Harvey's cream sherry. See how it's written there? I may have mentioned something about Harvey's before when I lived in Sevilla and we headed off to Jerez de la Frontera, where sherry is made, and I went past this big factory there in the train, and I was like, and it looked just like Harvey's, except it was spelt with a G. I was like, Garvey's? What's Garvey's? Duh, Harvey's, because G's are pronounced like H's, and I felt so stupid afterwards, but there we go. This is part of the influence of the Brits on the sherry trade, along with port and other such fortified wines quite a long time ago. But enough of that, let's have an ounce of this as well, like so. And then I mentioned I'm going to put a bit of orange in it. I'm going to use some orange bitters. Don't want to overdo it. This can be, it makes things sometimes a bit too sweet. You know, the sherry's a bit on the sweet side, the Licor 43 is a bit sweet, and that's all balanced out by the sort of firiness and the punchiness of the rye whiskey. So let's just go for a dash of orange bitters. I mean, obviously, you play around with the proportions a little bit if you want to, but this is what I came up with. I tried it, and it's pretty tasty. We are going to stir that in ice. I always say it's about 20 seconds, but you really want to put lots of ice in your mixing glass. You want to stir it well. You want to make it really chilly, and there's a little bit of dilution as well. That's what you're getting. You're getting the dilution, and you're getting the temperature. There we go. It's also a very satisfying sound as you're turning this around, as you're stirring it around like this. Marvellous. There we go. We've got that very nicely done too. Going to get a strainer. I do not fine strain my cocktails very much because I actually kind of like those shards of ice in it. I've mentioned that before. But strain it into your chilled cocktail glass. As I've mentioned before, the chilling of the cocktail glass is actually quite important. Keep your drink a little bit cooler for a little bit longer. Just the one garnish today. We're going to have a nice thick twist of orange, like so. Don't forget to twist it over the cocktail so you get some of those orange oils in there too. And then we'll just do a little tear in it and have it as a nice little adornment on the side of the glass like so. Can I make it look nice? Not really. I'm sort of not, I'm making a bit of a pig's ear out of that, but there we go. We've got that there. Let's see what we've got. Oh yes, excelente. That is the bomb. Cheers, or maybe the bomba. Cheers once again.